Hey fellow photographer, how's it going? I'm Michael Zelbel. Today I would like to share with you my typical use case for fast synchronization of speed lights. Canon calls this HSS or high speed sync. Nikon calls it Auto FP high speed sync. Whatever you call it, the question is, how does this feature help you? Well, summer is coming, slowly, but it's going to come. And I hope you will go out and take some beautiful portraits with shallow depth of field at, let's say, exactly f2.8. Now, you will use a flash, which you will position next to you, and you are going to use a softbox like we did, or an umbrella, it doesn't matter, but you will put it next to you and fill in a tiny little bit of light into your subject in order to make your subject really pop out from the background. Now it's going to be awesome. Now, this was also the plan of cousin Samuel, cousin Roger and myself today. So we went out with our beautiful model cousin Lynn and we went to the harbor of Shanghai. But when I took my first test photo at ISO 100 in 1/200th of a second, I had a look at my histogram. I went like, holy cow, the photo is like 3 stops overexposed. I mean, it's not a really sunny day, it's a hazy day and summer didn't even start. But well, in this situation you really don't want to stop down your aperture and lose a beautiful bokeh with the blurry background. No, what else can you do? Well, actually you got 2 options. Yeah, the first option is to solve this problem old school. You could mount an ND filter, a neutral density filter. And in this situation you would need at minimum an ND16 filter, which reduces the light which is falling into your camera by 4 f-stops. But it will also make your viewfinder so dark that you think you're shooting at night. And instead of seeing details in your photos through your viewfinder, your photography will turn into, now, a kind of guesswork. One additional thing that I see a lot of photographers doing in this situation is they are pulling out their powerful portable flash guns, which they think is necessary to compete with all the ambient light. Quite often that leads to disappointment. I mean, adding a ton of additional light in a situation in which I already have too much light is usually not the brightest idea. But hey, don't worry, hold your horses, you don't need any of that stuff. All you have to do is simply pressing the high speed sync button on your speed light, or, like in our case, on the radio control. Of course, for this you need a speed light or a radio control, which is capable of doing so. Yeah, not every speed light can do high speed sync, but if you've got one which can do, you are golden. Yeah, because now you can increase your shutter speed and make it faster to something like 1/640th of a second. Now, this worked for us in our example. Now in your example, might be you need to go higher, or you turn your camera into aperture variation mode. Yeah, you keep the aperture at f2.8 and your camera will, now it can just determine the sync speed it needs for the optimum exposure. With the higher shutter speed, you simply have less exposure by ambient light and you can leave your aperture open and shoot shallow depth of field. Awesome. However, one little caveat: in high speed mode, your flash has to work much harder. I will not go into details how high speed mode works. There are awesome explanations on some of the websites and I will probably post a link underneath this video. But you should know your flash needs to work harder, and if you need your flash to fill in a couple of f-stops, then really watch your batteries because they might go fast. However, in our case we just needed our flash to add a hint of light to cousin Lynn and our batteries lasted for the whole shoot. We had some very good fun with it. This is exactly what I want you to have as well. So go outside, use the weather, put your flash at work and make your model happy with a couple of beautiful portraits. And for that, I wish you good light.